Hello and welcome for another review on one of K&F Concept's tripods. I'll put some links below about where you can find these. You can find them at knfconcept.com or kentfaith.co.uk. Here we have the K&F Concept one that I'm using primarily most of the time just now. It's the 2515T. Again, aluminium tripod. That's it fully open, so it's coming up to a reasonable height there. I've got the centre column that I can raise if I want it a wee bit higher, and it's got the usual, you can turn them over and you can shoot down that way. But the latest tripod, which is a bit different, let us say, and I think I've not used it for that long, but right away I would suggest that it could be my go-to everyday tripod. Have a look at this. They all come in these nice fancy bags, but to be quite honest, a bag is something that I'll only use it to store it in the car. You get the usual strap and the Allen key, etc. inside. They come folded up. Personally, I never keep them folded up like that. It's just something extra to do if I'm trying to get a tripod out and ready for action. This is the one that I would use when I'm travelling. It's a small carbon fibre one, great one, very lightweight, and you can see the size difference there between these two. I'll put that one down. So this is the one that I think will be the one that I use now, and it's called the SA254T1. And again, I'll just open these up. And it's not been opened up very often. And there you go. That's the way I would certainly carry it like that, either fixed to my camera bag or just carry it in the hand. It's got the soft rubber grip, so even in the winter your hands are not going to freeze against the cold aluminium metal. But right away, 3-section leg here, 1, 2, 3 turns, and just a turns to get them back in. If you're somebody that's been used to a tripod that has the click lock legs, just make sure that you turn all these up before you put a camera on, otherwise it will slide back down in. Usually the first thing I do when I put it down is to push, just to make sure like that I have them all locked up. Now the first thing you're going to notice is the size of this tripod. It is huge, to say the least. I can't basically reach up there with my eye, but that's not as high as it goes. There you go. You can have it there. And let's say you want to go even higher. You can go up to there. That is probably somewhere in the region of 8 feet. The first thing you're going to say is, do I really need a tripod that goes that high? I thought that too. Probably not. But there you go. Within a day I was using it in the entry next to between our houses. We've got a swallow nest. It meant I could put my camera up there. It was actually level with the nest, and because most phones nowadays you can connect to most cameras nowadays you can connect to your smartphone and you can see the thing, so you don't need to be behind the camera. So I could fire the camera from 20 feet away and the camera was just sitting in the entry taking the picture, so it did for that right away. Also, maybe you're at a wedding, you need to get a higher shot. You're obviously going to have a set of step ladders or something, but that would allow you to get the camera up there nice and steady to get a shot down on the big group shot that seems to be the in thing these days. So you could use it for that. This leg here at the back is detachable, so I can take that off, take this hook off here, screw that in, and then I've got a monopod. And again, the monopod will close down to about this length. You're at, say, a pop concert, you can put your camera up, or you can actually get phone attachment for a lot of these things nowadays. Push it up, and trust me, yours will be higher than anybody else's that's standing with their phone in a pop concert like that. You will get the shot that nobody else gets. So it's there, and trust, you will look for new ideas of how you could use a tripod that height, even just on rough ground where you need to be one leg far longer than the other rather than you stepping down. It works in that occasion as well. Personally, most of the time I will not actually open the bottom section when I open it up, so that means I'll be working on a 2-section tripod. The reason I'm closing the bottom one is because it's the thinner piece of metal and it's going to give the most, so I would just use that. And to use that, you can see it's still taller than the other tripod, but it comes right up to my head height, and that is where I would normally work for most things. Like all the other tripods that K&F produce, they all have the Arcus Swiss type quick release plates. This one here, although it looks different, the two of them, you know, they're different shapes, but they both fit. I can clip that one on there and it's good to go. I'll just put it back on its proper one this now. So that would again just quite quickly, it's got a hook there, so you just quickly screw that on there, or like me, you would leave it on permanently. Just put that up, and again it just drops in, and there you've got your camera fixed to your tripod. One thing I would say, and I must admit I'm guilty of forgetting, but you learn the hard way. These all ball heads have got a spirit level on the top. When I put that camera on there, I could no longer see the spirit level, so you must level up the head before you put the camera on the plate. It just makes life that much easier. It's got the usual 3 click legs on the side, so you press these levers here in, and that will allow you to lift the leg up if you get into some awkward situation and you need the leg at a slightly different level. I'll just put it back to where it is. So it's got that. It's pretty much the same as you would expect in most tripods to have. It actually has quite a nice, it's not a fluid head, but it is a very fluid turning head. The head itself will turn very, very smoothly. The ball head itself is a single lock, so you've got that, you can turn it, do what you like with that single lock up, locks up very quickly. Also what these tripods have is, if you turn the big lever here, comes up, over and through. There is a word stop on the end, which would mean don't go much beyond that when you pull it out, for the simple reason is a heavy SLR tripod might tip it. Maybe not so much with it smaller, lighter weight, but when I keep it back to about there. So that allows me to do that. And if you just turn that over, lock everything back up. You think the camera's on there, I've got a lovely fluid pan. There's no jerky movement in that at all. And again, if I just release that, the camera's on there, it's looking straight down. Tripod legs in the way, so I would move it round like that so that the tripod legs coming back between my legs, pull it back there, and I can shoot vertically straight down onto any subject, whether it be a food, whether it's a plant, anything on the ground that you need flat, so you're looking straight down on it. Ideal for that. As I say, just make sure you keep your feet back out of the way. This centre column, if you take the hook off, you've got your hook on there, say for a windy day, and you thought maybe it's a wee bit of vibration in that, you can get your camera bag or anything and just hook it on to the bottom there, and that just makes your tripod that bit more steady as well. Yep. But I say, if you take that off, you just screw in the bottom here like this, take that off, release that. I can take this right out, reverse it, and you've got the same principle down low on the ground. And this going back in here, it just gives you the admit that it doesn't pull out by mistake when you're working it. But you'll soon learn that when you're working these tripods, what each lever does, is they're all single levers for each operation of the tripod. So that's the one that'll turn the fluid head there. You've got the one here that does the actual movement of the ball head. You've got one at the side that allows you to move and lower that, and also this one as well, which locks it up when it's tight in like that. So that's pretty much the new extremely tall tripod from K&F Concept. So I'll put the links in, as I say, and you can have a look at them for yourself. But don't always just look at their tripods. They've got a huge range of camera equipment, from filters, camera bags, tripods, you name it, they produce it. They're all good quality and all at a very reasonable price. So thank you, until the next time.